Welcome to the next part of Crack the Wellness Code's inaugural diabetes course. I am proud to have been involved with CWC for many years as they recognize nutrition as an integral component of longevity and health span. We go so much further than lifespan. And CWC is all about taking action to improve quality of life for our families and community. I am thrilled that you have made the investment in your future to participate in this course. My name is Timmerie Hagenberger, and I am a registered dietitian with a master's degree in public health and exercise physiologist. And I've been a college professor for more than 20 years, and I can't wait to dive into this information. During this segment, we're going to be delving into 5 critical topics that include the enormity of diabetes and how it's touching more and more of us every day, the role that nutrition plays in diabetes, the impact of different dietary choices on diabetes risk and management, several powerful health promoting components to ensure that you include in every meal, and some critical advice, bonus content regarding meal timing that can pay big dividends when it comes to your health. So let's get started. The prevalence of diabetes in India and the US and the world has just exploded. Right now in India, 77 million people above 18 are suffering from type 2 diabetes, and 25 million are pre-diabetic. Since 2000, the number of diabetics in the world has more than tripled from 151 million to over 530 million. And India is leading Southeast Asia. Right now, India contributes 1 in every 6 adults with diabetes in the world. And the numbers are only projected to get worse. But it isn't about numbers. It's about people. You and the people you love. At this rate, we're either going to experience diabetes personally, or we're going to be taking care of someone who does. And likely you already are. But what can we do? How can we help ourselves and our loved ones? Well, medications can be given, to address the symptoms that someone experiences with diabetes, but nutrition, or rather our eating decisions, play a pivotal role in preventing, managing, or promoting diabetes by impacting the root causes, the 4 main contributors to insulin resistance, which include names that you've heard of: inflammation, oxidative stress, gut dysbiosis, and lipotoxicity. Now, that last one, lipotoxicity, may be new to you, but it's what happens when calories are coming in so fast that our fat tissue, our adipose tissue, we can't get them in there so quick. It's just overwhelming our system. So guess where the fat goes? Into our muscles, into our heart, into our pancreas, and into our liver. Have you heard about people having fatty liver? It's all related. So let's talk about the power of dietary choices. So it's important to realize there are foods that we eat that can cause damage and disease, and others that can promote health and healing. And it's important to understand that dietary patterns that are centered around and even include animal products drive all of these contributors to insulin resistance. And it's because of their constituents. It's because of the saturated fat, the oxidized cholesterol, new 5-GC, pro-oxidants like heme iron, endotoxins, TMAO, chemical contaminants that accumulate in the animals throughout their lives, and compounds that are formed during the cooking process, such as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons and heterocyclic amines that are typically formed when we burn gasoline, coal, oil, garbage, and tobacco, and when we cook animal flesh. Now compare and contrast that to the bounty of gifts that plant food has to offer. Whole plants provide probiotics and prebiotics, which include a variety of different fibers, thousands of phytonutrients that serve as antioxidants, anti-inflammatory compounds, powerful plant enzymes, plant sterols, plant stanols, and safe sources of our needed macronutrients, such as protein and lipids and carbohydrate. These synergistic miracles grown in nature directly counteract those forces that worsen insulin resistance. So as you're beginning to see, there are two sides of the story, two forces at work when someone transitions to a plant-based, plant-centered eating pattern. And there's more. The more plant exclusive, the greater the benefits. It isn't just about what we aren't eating. It's also about what we are. So we actually see the research shows that there is a stepwise drop in diabetes rates the more plant-based. So compared to omnivores that would include some kind of meat every day, flexitarians, which consume meat once a week on average, have a 28% lower rate of diabetes. Pesca-vegetarians that only include fish have a 50% lower rate of diabetes. Vegetarians that include no meat or fish, 61% lower rate of diabetes. But vegan, no meat, fish, dairy, or eggs enjoy a 78% drop in the rate of diabetes. And we also know that meat protein causes nearly the same insulin release as pure sugar. And by adding something like butter to lentils, we will see a 60% increase in insulin's response to sugar compared to lentils alone. You can even take people on a plant-based diet for 3 weeks, significantly drop their insulin needs, and then add egg whites back in, 60% increase in insulin output in 4 days. You can add half a can of tuna to pasta and see a 70% higher insulin spike. In fact, plant-based eaters who add meat back just once a week double to triple their odds of diabetes, stroke, heart disease, weight gain, and they lose 3.6 years of life expectancy. Okay, so we have to realize plants are protective and active in the healing process. Now, to take it a little step further, the quality of the plant-based diet makes a difference. The more benefits you'll enjoy, the lower the risk of heart disease, the #1 killer, diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, and more. So we need to push the processed food that's high in fat, sugar, and salt off the plate and invite the best of the best. So there is so much to talk about, but what I would like to give you is action items so that you can start to include very specific components in each of your meals. And by keeping it simple, you will find success because consistency is the key. #1, move green leafy vegetables to the front of the line. Raw or cooked, any cruciferous will do. But when you look at a meal, I want you to ask yourself, how can I add more green leafy vegetables? Bigger variety, under, inside, on top. I also want you to love the legumes, all types of beans, peas, lentils, from garbanzo beans to lentil dal. Include them with every single meal. I do. Branch out and try different types. Enjoy plenty of non-starchy vegetables and colorful whole fruit, from celery to tomatoes, from asparagus to zucchini, eggplant to onions, cucumbers to pears, and berries galore. The more colorful, the better. Include starchy vegetables like sweet potato, winter squash, and corn, or intact whole grains like oat groats, wheat berries, black rice, and quinoa. Cooked with water or moist cooking methods. Remember, choose intact cells instead of powdered, floured, shredded, flaked, or puffed grains, and especially avoiding those foods cooked in oil. Add 2 teaspoons of vinegar for every meal. Why? It increases satiety, improves your blood sugar, and the insulin response. It actually helps your muscles take up glucose, but don't drink it straight. And then some bonus content, 2 pieces of sage advice. You may have heard this before. Breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Our natural healing process that impacts every cell of our body is interrupted when food is consumed late in the day and into the night. We actually see our glucose tolerance declines as the day goes on, and this is related to the circadian rhythms. In fact, an 8 p.m. meal will have twice the blood sugar response of that same exact meal if eaten at 8 a.m. And the last piece is gut rest from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Late night eating disrupts those circadian rhythms and results in higher blood sugars after breakfast the next day. So I challenge you to break the disease cycle in your family and leave a legacy of health.
Thank you, Timri, for sharing with us the importance of dietary practices. We hope our viewers have enjoyed and embraced this segment as much as we have enjoyed presenting it to you all. Now let's move on to the next segment of the course where Dr. Naresh Bhatt will discuss lifestyle practices. We wish all the participants good luck and encourage you to watch all the videos for a comprehensive understanding of all the topics and engaging in the activities provided in the course. Happy viewing!